From time to time I get these odd flashbacks because this intersection looked similar to one in Rice Lake, Wisconsin. So I got a weird flashback as I was walking. I was thinking about how it would lead to the Rice Lake River in the park over there. But I'm not quite there. But the housing and the intersection look like that, so it plays tricks on my mind. This is weird, it's like 8:48, and on Sunday it says it's open at 8 a.m. for Target, but it's all closed up. It's strange. Alright, so it sort of feels like I'm rearranging furniture in my house. I decided to take this cooler, put it behind, I think, and then use the milk cart that was sitting where the cooler is and put it in place there. And I got it strapped down to the passenger side handle, and also I strapped down a second milk crate to that so that they stay. The bicycle will come in here, set, and set it in standing up, and hopefully that works out. I've got this strapped down to it. It can move quite a bit. I think I might strap down the cooler for good measure. Just trying to make more room as much as possible. Actually, this is probably bad, but I took out some more of this insulation stuff on the passenger side. It allows me to get my crates down a little, just a couple millimeters further, have more room. See how that works out. Alright, I am much happier with this T-system, using this humongous T-ball thing with the end attached. It makes it really easy to throw away the old T, and then I have access to everything in here. It's just big enough to fit into this cylinder. There's this is a French press, coffee press. I had a depressor plunger thing, but I threw that out. The screen got too clogged with stuff, and the pores were too small. I think I could probably handle this better. Next time I get a chance to buy some rose hips, I'm going to want to buy a lot of them. I think this would taste really good as a peanut butter and I think I could go for a peanut butter and rose hip sandwich, because this really turns into a nice jam with just a little water. Alright, well I see that the reason why I see that taking out the insulation has made it a little louder in my car. I had some kind of insulation in the passenger side, and it just got a little louder in here now. Alright, so this is an old hospital, and it's very curious. I hear a weird noise. I walked around, and they have lights on, but you look in the windows and it's all abandoned. Just like chairs and tables. Oh man, I was gonna try to remember that. St. Louis. St. Louise. St. Louis Hospital, I think. It's also known as DePaul, but I looked up DePaul and that didn't yield much, but the St. Louis maybe I could find a little bit more information about that. It sounds almost like I got a window open in the back. I've been removing so much stuff from this car. When you take out insulation, then you start hearing the engine and all kinds of outside noises easier. I've been stuffy for like 4 or 5 days. Still coughing out a lot of phlegm. And this weather encourages that. Very wet. Yeah, it's a tree place on the left. So, I don't know, San Jose off that way. I'm very comfortable in this city. I'd like to start going into San Jose, but I'm not in a big hurry. Oh, here we go. Okay. Anywhere. I'll take a left here. Yeah. See, there's some RV campers. Nobody really goes to that old hospital. St. Louis. I slept there overnight, and nobody else was there. It's kind of neat. I enjoy that peace and quiet a little bit better than here. I was thinking I would have liked to have worked out a little bit, but that's not really possible now with all this rain. I wonder if I can get the McDonald's internet right here. I want to check that. Homeless people probably turned into bad apples despite having great parents. I gotta say, all potato wedges are not made equally at all the Walmarts, for that matter, because there's some Walmarts who will overly salt these things. I really don't even taste any salt on this one, on this batch, and they're not overly baked. These didn't sit in the fryer too long. You really, when you got a hunger for potato wedges, you can't just buy it from anybody, because sometimes the people overcook them. These are like not overcooked. These are like not oversalted at this Walmart. Really good job. Alright, I've been to some that just overcook, oversalt, and it's just horrible. So you gotta be more precautious about what you get. Looks like it's very nice around here. Parking is awful. They got really cramped parking around here, but it looks much more upscale than you'd find in places like Salinas. The library actually played 3 different languages for closing at the last half hour. They played English, Chinese, and then Spanish, just to let everybody know that they had 30 minutes. Alright, so my spirits have picked up just a little bit, seeing that I can have some spots available, seeing that there are some spots available to park on the side of the road in a nice, next to apartments, not far from the hospital. Great locations. Just hope they don't fill up before I go. Oh, I just killed another snail. So it's impossible to cross here. They got a fence. It's impossible to cross the road without using a bridge. This is an old Food Max. I don't think I've ever been in a Food Max before. But one thing, it no longer exists. One thing I find interesting is you can see this M. They were advertising McDonald's. I seriously doubt they had a McDonald's inside the store. I think they felt there was a benefit to be had to advertise for the McDonald's across the parking lot by putting that M on their store. Perhaps they originally didn't even consider it, and then they were losing money and then decided to step up their advertising and try to cross advertise. Either way, their store is moved or out of business now, and it's all lit up in there ready for a new store because this area is so up and coming. Called it Food Max. Maybe it's a different kind of store. I don't know. So strange. Didn't I just see this in Hills, Morgan Hills? And this is in South San Jose.